Hi guys, this is Go Time with Showtime. If this is your first time stopping by my channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you're a returning subscriber, you know how we do. Today we're going to talk about a story out of New York City. And it is about the LGBTQ community that was so say not targeted, and some recent robberies that led to two individuals ending up losing their life. Now, with that being said, guys, we're gonna roll this clip and then we're gonna come back and talk about it as usual. See you guys in a sec.
Facing charges in the murder of two men in Hell's Kitchen.
Authorities say they were drugged and robbed after leaving gay bars in the area. Fox 5's Briella Tomasetti is live in Hell's Kitchen with the latest. Good morning, Briella.
Yeah, good morning to both of you, Tashani and Dan. Police connected all three of those suspects to 43 druggings in total, 7 of which were fatal. The MO, exactly the same every single time. The victims' bank accounts were completely drained after a long night out. So now, finally, it seems, for this community, justice has been served. 35-year-old Jaquan Hamilton, seen here donning a face mask, orange hoodie, and a jacket, was completely silent as he was led out of the 7th precinct by police in handcuffs. Hamilton is the 3rd suspect to be placed under arrest and linked to the murders of 2 men who died after leaving gay bars in Hell's Kitchen. He was picked up at around 7:30 last night on Bridge Street in Brooklyn and faces 1 count of murder, robbery, and grand larceny charges. He's also being charged with conspiracy and ID theft. 2 other alleged accomplices, 30-year-old Jacob Barroso and 34-year-old Robert DeMeo, were arraigned on similar charges earlier this month. By the end of March, police had linked dozens of druggings, including 7 fatal overdoses, to 2 separate robbery patterns in and around Manhattan nightclubs. According to the NYPD, the 3 suspects drugged their victims and wiped their bank accounts after using facial recognition technology on the victims' iPhones.
When people believe that a community has been targeted, whether it's the LGBTQ community, the Jewish community, the African American community, those need to be taken particularly seriously.
The deaths of 2 victims, John Umberger and Julio Ramirez, were only ruled homicides recently. They were previously suspected to be overdoses. Last spring, police say 25-year-old Julio Ramirez left the Ritz in Hell's Kitchen with a group of men. He was given a lethal cocktail of drugs, robbed, and then left to die in the back of a taxi. A month later, 33-year-old John Umberger was fatally drugged and robbed after leaving another gay club just a few blocks away from the Ritz. Umberger was a political consultant from Washington, D.C., who was found in the Upper East Side townhouse where he had been staying. According to the city medical examiner, both batches of drugs were laced with fentanyl. And the leading theory at this point is that all of the victims were targeted for their money, not for their sexual orientation. Nonetheless, the NYPD Hate Crimes Task Force is continuing its investigation into this very serious matter. For now, though, we're live in Hell's Kitchen. Tashani, we'll send it back to you.
Hi guys, you just saw that story and it's very sad. It's very sad because a community is being targeted. And by community, I mean the LGBTQ community. Now, it is said on the news that this community is not being targeted. In my offense, I think it is. I'm going to tell you why in a sec. Now, it is said that these 2 men right here that lost their lives, which was 25-year-old Julio Ramirez and 33-year-old John Umberger, lost their lives to a fatal mixture of different drugs, including fentanyl. And these 3 in this corner are the ones that did it. You have 35-year-old Jaquan Hamilton, 30-year-old Jacob Barroso, and 34-year-old Robert DeMeo. Now, these 3 men were going into gay clubs, befriending gay men, getting them to trust them, then I guess putting something in their drinks, or however they was drugging them, and then getting them out the club, and then robbing them. By robbing them, I mean maybe physically robbing them and also taking all their money out their bank accounts. How they was taking their money out their bank accounts is that they were using the face recognition on the phone, meaning after these people was drugged and probably passed out, they was using their phone to open it by using their face. And once inside the phone, they was going into their bank accounts and clearing them out. Now it is said that 25-year-old Julio Ramirez was cleaned out for $17,000 after 90 minutes after he was deceased. And 33-year-old John Umberger was cleaned out for $22,000. Now, with that being said, it's sad because it's enough that the LGBTQ community has really come far, and for them to be trusting people, it's sad because they have so much going on and so much against them for what they are that it makes them targets. And it's sad because we are not here to judge any community, because just like they say, Black lives matter, white lives matter, every life matter. They are part of all of them in one, no matter what they are and what they do. And with that being said, these guys had did this to 43 people. So they drugged 43 people. In the 43 people they drugged, 7 of them was fatal, meaning 7 people besides these 2 lost their lives. But the news say they was not targeted. I beg to differ. I just want to say to the LGBTQ community, be safe, be careful on who you trust, because it's a lot of shady people out there trying to gain trust of people to do negative things, and not just this community, every community. Women, men, children, we all targeted these days. Just all be careful and be mindful of who you meet, and make sure you really know them and trust them before you do anything. If you're in a club, don't accept drinks from nobody. Don't let nobody buy you a drink unless you saw the people make it themselves. And I wouldn't trust them either, because they might be working with them. So guys, with that being said, remember, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see all you guys in my next video.